Hello, good people of Ghana. My name is Engineer Richard Mauli Amegatse. I'm a petroleum engineer by profession and I aspire to be the president of Ghana come 2028. I want to thank everyone that have shared my previous video. You are the reason why my message is going far. Today, I want to talk about the foreign policies of Ghana. And I want to encourage anyone that gets this video to share it, to like the video, so that other people would also get this message. So that by 2028, the message might have sunk in to majority of Ghanaians. I have only one interest, and that interest is to make this country, Ghana, a prosperous country, moving it from a third world country to a first world country. And that is my vision. And the foreign policies of Ghana that I am going to pursue when I get opportunity to be the next president of Ghana is going to be ruthlessly and firmly rooted in the national interest of Ghana. I've taken my time to go through some of the bilateral and international agreements that Ghana has been a signatory to from independence. And from an intelligential point of view, some of those agreements that Ghana signed, it's on intelligence. And in some instances, it infringes on the sovereignty of Ghana. And when I get opportunity to become your next president, I'm going to rectify, I'm going to correct the foreign policies of Ghana. And every agreement, every bilateral agreement or international agreement that Ghana has been a signatory to that defies common sense and logic and that does not inure to the benefit of the Republic of Ghana would be cancelled. And Ghana is going to pull out of so many of those treaties. And for once, Ghana will be positioned as a regional dominance force that is going to advance its national interest aggressively to move this country from a third world country to a first world country. When we want to talk about the foreign policy of Ghana, we need to understand the world order. At the moment, there is a Western hegemony. The world is operating based on a Western hegemony. And the most dominant countries are the United States and the UK. Whether you like it or not, they are controlling the world. They have established a hegemony. And that hegemony is the world order with which we all move with. So if Ghana take a position to be a non-aligned country, indirectly, we are denying ourselves the opportunity to maximize our benefits from the Western world. Ghana can no longer play the game where we want to please everybody. We want to please Russia, we want to please the US, we want to please UK, we want to please China, and we do not take any position. And in my view, that does not inure to the benefit of the country. Because if we want to change our country from a third world country to a first world country, we have to be properly aligned. And we need to align with countries that have achieved what we want to achieve. So Ghana is no longer going to be a non-aligned country when I get opportunity to become your next president. We are going to align ourselves with progressive forces of the world. And we'll make it very clear that any partnership, any agreement, any alignment that does not serve the interest of Ghana will be abrogated. Our first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, was promoting the idea of Pan-Africanism. And that idea is based on our skin color as black people. Kwame Nkrumah wanted to unite all black nations so that we will be a united force to advance our interests. After so many years, decades and decades, the evidence is clear that such a Pan-African agenda was a defeatist agenda because it wasn't successful. Look at what we are experiencing now in 2026, when our previous presidents have used our limited resources to help some of our African brothers in other countries. For example, during the time of apartheid, the then president, Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, gave a lot of aid to South Africa. And we were part of the reason why South Africa was liberated from apartheid. In 2026, these same South Africans, black South Africans, are molesting our people in South Africa, and they've sacked our people to leave South Africa. What happened to Pan-Africanism? Are we no longer black people because South Africans want Ghanaians out of South Africa? What happened to African Union? What did the African Union say about the molestation that happened to Ghanaians in South Africa when the South Africans were pursuing Ghanaians out of South Africa? Even when you look back in the ECOWAS region, there was a time around 79 where Nigerians pursued Ghanaians out of Nigeria because they believed the presence of Ghanaians in Nigeria was against their national interest. I will be a president that is fastly rooted in empiricism. What I mean is, I'm going to examine the evidence, and when the evidence does not support any narrative, that narrative will be tossed away. So, in my view, as an aspiring president of Ghana, it is clear to me that the Pan-Africanism, the Pan-African movement that was led by Marcus Garvey, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Haile Selassie, to bring all people of African descent and the black race together to become a one block and one unit to push an international agenda has failed. And it has failed as such. And I don't believe any effort that will be made by any singular country, including our good country Ghana, is going to make that Pan-Africanist agenda successful. So as president, I'm not going to be on a wild goose chase. We are going to toss that Pan-Africanist movement, and we are going to be rerouted in the national interest of Ghana. I am going to pursue nationalism, where the interest of Ghana will be paramount to the interest of any other country, regardless of sheer skin color, regardless of sheer regional borders, or regardless of shared continents. And Ghana is no longer going to be that country that is going to use its limited resources to serve all other African countries, yet still get stabbed in the back. It is okay, it is enough, and the Pan-African movement under my leadership is going to come to a halt. And Ghana is going to take a new direction. And that direction is that we will be only interested in our national interest. And our national interest will be to move this country from a third world country to a first world country. And we are going to pursue that agenda ruthlessly. And any country that share heritage with us, share skin color with us, share border with us, that is not willing or ready to also pursue that ruthless agenda of transforming itself from a third world country to a first world country will be left behind by us. And we are going to pursue a unilateral ambition, a unilateral vision to make Ghana a first world country with no regard to skin color, with no regard to regional um, um, regional borders, with no regard to continental heritage. And we are going to align ourselves with countries that are doing well, whether they be Western countries, Eastern countries, or wherever, African countries. If you are doing well, if you are a country that is doing well, Ghana would want to partner with you. But if you are a country that is lacking behind, that is not prepared to change your fortune, Ghana will not be interested in having any alliance with you. So we are going to consider whether we'll be a part of ECOWAS or not. And we are also going to consider whether we are going to be a part of African Union going forward or not. Like I said, the vision is to transform Ghana from a third world country to a first world country. And we are only going to align ourselves with countries that are doing well, countries that are on the same course as we desire to be. So we are going to strengthen the alliance with the United States of America. We need the intellectual property of the United States of America. We need the technical expertise of United States of America to develop our country. And we are not going to sit on the fence and claim we are a non-aligned country that will not take side in international issues. We are going to take side. And if that means taking side with the United States of America so that they will give us what they want, we will take side with them so that we can also get what we want to develop our country. We have been on this non-aligned movement for only God knows how, over 60 years. And it hasn't been beneficial to us in any way. Rather, we are not able to access the kind of help that we need to build our country. One of our presidents said, Ghana beyond aid. To me, that is nonsense. The state of our country, where young people are not able to live in this country, going to use risky ventures, some using high seas to travel to Europe and all other places. You are sitting in Ghana saying that you want to build Ghana without aid, when your people on the high sea live in your country, regardless of the dangers they are facing on those high seas, to go and claim asylum in other people's country. You are claiming Ghana without aid. Ghana need aid, but we don't need only financial aid. We need technical aid. We need intellectual property aid to build our country. And we are going to get it anywhere we can. Again, Ghana is going to decouple with any country that is not ready to improve itself. Nigeria is said to be our sister country, but Nigeria is plagued with bad governance. And over the years, the relationship that we've had with Nigeria has not helped Ghana in any way. Rather, it is pushing our country further into the mud. And the kind of bad leadership that is happening in Nigeria is being replicated in Ghana. When I get opportunity to be the next president of Ghana, Ghana is going to decouple with Nigeria. We are not interested in the way they run their country. And we don't see any promise for the future. Rather, Ghana is going to couple with some serious countries like Singapore, Malaysia, South Korea. These are countries that we had independence with. Our economy and their economy were similar, but they have left us far, 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 far behind because we were not serious. We've been leading our country with unintelligence. That is why we've not been able to make it out of the third world. And when I get opportunity to become the next president of Ghana, Ghana is going to couple with countries that are doing well, regardless of where they are located. So we'll have alliance with countries like Singapore, we'll have alliance with countries like South Korea, and we are going to learn from them and move our country from a third world country to a first world country. And any country, even that is close to us, that is not ready and prepared to do the right thing, and that is not giving its people quality leadership, regardless of resemblance, regardless of shared skin color, we are going to decouple with them, and we'll have nothing to do with them as a country. We are going to trade with them on a win-win basis, where we give them what they need, and they also give us what we need. We pay them off, they pay us off, and that's all. But for partnership, we are only going to partner with serious countries that have moved their people from poverty, that have been able to transform their country from third world country to first world country. And that's what we are going to do. There are so many international agreements that Ghana has signed up to that is inimical to our sovereignty. For example, Ghana is a signatory to the International Criminal Court, where we say that Ghanaians can be subjected to the International Criminal Court. That signatory is inimical to the interests of Ghana, and it also infringes on our sovereignty. Why? The reason is that countries like the US, countries like Singapore are not a signatory. Even Russia is not a signatory to the International Criminal Court, and they are not subjected to the courts, to International Criminal Court. They are subjected to their own laws. So why is Ghana a signatory to the International Criminal Court, where presidents of Ghana, ministers, and leaders of Ghana can be tried in the international court? What happened to our own laws? What happened to our internal laws? What happened to our sovereignty? If our president can be tried in an international court for whatever reason, we are going to pull out from the International Criminal Court when I become your next president, because it is against the interests of Ghana, and it does not promote the sovereignty of Ghana. The sovereignty of Ghana is in theory, but in practice, there are so many agreements and international agreements that we have signed up to that fringes on that sovereignty. For example, Ghana is a signatory to the proliferation, the ban of production of ammunition and the production of cluster ammunitions and landmines. Ghana is a signatory to it. And per that signatory, Ghana as a country cannot use landmines, even for our national defense. We cannot use cluster ammunitions, or we cannot produce it. And the countries that are serious about their sovereignty are not a signatory to it. The United States of America is not a signatory to the ban on cluster munitions. United States of America produces cluster munition. China produces it. Russia produces it. Why can't Ghana produce it for our national defense? Ghana in the 1950s had a thriving local ammunition industry in the Volta region, a place called Alavanyo, where the local artisans there produce ammunition. Because our leaders there were so dumb and they did not look at the bigger picture, they put laws to ban the local production of arms. And the local artisans, the local blacksmiths that were producing these arms were kicked out of business. Meanwhile, countries like United States of America, China, Russia have strengthened their local ammunition production and even export this ammunition to other countries. And we go and buy this ammunition. Our police force need guns. We go and buy this AK-47 from Russia, millions of dollars, and we strengthen the economy of Russia. Our military need artilleries. We go and buy these artilleries from the United States, and then we boost the economy of the United States. Instead of the government promoting the local artisans, funding them so that they can produce competent ammunition for our national defense and our internal security, we kill those industries. When I get the opportunity to become the next president of Ghana, I'm going to revive the local production of ammunition. Ghana is going to pull out of so many international agreements that prevent us from producing this ammunition. And we are going to produce it right here in the Volta region, Alavanyo, and the government is going to help the local artisans there, finance them, build an industry for them, encourage them, help them to get the raw materials to produce ammunition. And these ammunition will be tested by our local military to ensure that they meet competent standards. And these ammunition will be used in our police force, immigration, and all law enforcement agencies. So Ghana as a country is no longer going to rely on international community, on other countries for ammunition like guns and all that. We are going to produce all those things here. Ghana is going to pull out from every bilateral agreement that prevent us from producing our own ammunition. And we will produce landmines and ammunition to protect our borders. At the moment, there's an insurgent in the northern Ghana. You know, this Boko Haram activities at the Burkina Faso is gradually getting close to our borders. But we have signed an agreement not to use landmines. How are we going to protect our borders when terrorists are approaching our country? Yes, still, we have signed an agreement not to use the very ammunition that we need to push against this terrorists. Ghana foreign policy is going to change when I get opportunity to become the next president. We are not going to be a signatory to any international agreement that is not fiercely in the interest of our country. And the bilateral agreements that we are already in, we are already signatory to, like the Ottawa Agreement, we are going to pull out from it. Ghana is also going to pull out from the International Criminal Court when I become your next president. Again, Ghana is a signatory to the Paris Accord, where we say that we are going to do green transition whilst we are not yet developed. Ghana contributes less than 0.07% of the global carbon pollution. The countries that produce more than 30% of this global pollution are not a signatory to the Paris Accord. The United States of America, China, all these countries are pulled out of the Paris Accord. And we, the ones that are not polluting the world, we are rather a signatory to it. It does not make sense to me. Ghana is going to pull out of that Paris Accord agreement because we have to industrialize our country. And for us to industrialize our country, we need an efficient energy production. Ghana will not go wind under my leadership. We will go nuclear to provide the needed energy that we need. We'll use coal to provide the needed energy that we need. And until we are fully developed, we will not be a signatory to any international bilateral agreement that does not inure to our national interest. One other thing that bothers me is the visa system in Ghana. Ghana is an what we call it. We are all the colonies of the UK. How do we even call them? Commonwealth. Yes, Ghana is a signatory to the Commonwealth, and we are a Commonwealth country. But Ghana does not even have visa free to the United Nations, to UK. Why? If we are part of the Commonwealth, why can't we just get common visa free to United Kingdom? Ghana is going to pull out of the Commonwealth when I become the next president of Ghana. And we are going to stand against any neo-colonialism agenda. And we are going to ensure that we have full sovereignty, not in theory, but in practice. Ghana will no longer be interested in this Commonwealth. The Commonwealth is used to extend the remnants of colonialism. There are so many Western organizations that are operating in Ghana, including societies of secrets or secret societies that are being run in this country by foreign powers. And those secret societies do so many things that are inimical to the interests of Ghana. They use those secret societies to collect intelligence about our country. And this secret society has captured the elites of Ghana. And we are not able to reason to know that these secret societies are advancing interests that is inimical to our national interest because we are not examining the evidence. Look at any country that have developed from a third world country to a first world country. They first make sure that they block any organization that is a foreign organization that operates against the interests of the state. And I'm going to do that when I get opportunity to be the next president of Ghana. If you want to belong to a secret society, we are going to come up with a local organization for Ghanaian elites that will not have any affiliation with foreign organizations. So all those foreign organizations, NGOs that are run in this country, that steal data, take data from our people, and take intelligence from our people, will be banned under my leadership. I will not mention them, but I know them, and I know the people that are part of them. And those organizations will be closed down for this country to get its sovereignty in practice, not in theory. Ghana is also going to go into agreement with the United States, Canada, UK, China, Japan to see how best we will be able to open borders for each other. Any low quality country that does not add any meaningful, technical, or intellectual property to the Republic of Ghana will not get visa free to Ghana. Under my leadership, we are not interested in low quality countries. We are interested in high quality countries. And we believe when we realign ourselves properly with these countries, we will be able to raise the quality of life of our people. We will be able to increase the human development index of our people. And we are going to embark on this agenda aggressively. So, good people of Ghana, support me as your next president. Share this message to other people. Like I told you, there are so many bilateral and international agreements that Ghana is a partner to that we were not supposed to. And the reason why we are signatory to those agreements is because our past leaders were simply dumb. That's the truth. They were not intelligent, because no intelligent person will go and sign a bilateral agreement with a country when they stand to benefit nothing from that bilateral agreement, and the country they sign those agreements with have all the advantage. There are so many trade agreements, World Trade Order, WTOs, that Ghana has is a signatory to, but that agreement does not benefit us in any way, because we are an import dependent country. We do not export anything. So if you have an agreement with a country to make your exports to them free or whatever, when you are not exporting anything, how do you stand to benefit from that agreement? So we are going to take critical examination at some of the agreements that have already been signed by our predecessors, especially the ones that lack common intelligence, the one that does not inure to the benefit of Ghana. And Ghana is going to pull out of any of those international or bilateral agreements, and we will repropose new bilateral agreements. Any country that we are going to sign a new bilateral agreement with would have to sit down and see how that agreement is going to inure to the benefit of Ghana, short term, mid term, long term, before we sign up to it. But for those agreements that does not inure to the benefit of a country, that also prevent us from expanding our global reach, we will pull out of all those agreements. Like I said, under my leadership, Ghana is not going to save any country. We are coming to save ourselves. We are coming to build this country for Ghanaians and for the future of Ghanaians. And no matter how close any country is to us, whether by skin color or by sharing borders with us, if they will not reason, if they will not try to also become a third world country, we'll cut ties with them and we'll leave them behind, and we'll form new alliance with countries that are doing well, countries that have the same vision as we do. And visionless country with stupid leaders will not be entertained, whether they be in African countries or not. We are not going to entertain them any longer. And that will mean that we change the quality of our leaders. And I'm going to do that when I get opportunity to become your president. We are not going to put people in positions because they are from a particular region or because they are from a particular place or they are from... No. It will be about competence, what you can deliver, the depth of your mind, your level of intelligence. That is how we are going to place leaders. Ghana has given opportunity to so many people that do not deserve it. The Article 71 office holders, these people have enormous benefit from the country. They take free fuel, free allowances clothing allowances. We pay them enormous amount of money, but these people lack common sense and intelligence, and they sign all sort of stupid agreement for our country. Why? We have to change that. And I'm ready to embark on this aggressive foreign policies that will change the fortunes for this country forever. And that include our visa regimes. When I get opportunity, Ghana is going to change our visa regimes. And for the first time, Ghana will get visa-free access to some Western countries. And we are going to pull out from the United Commonwealth. If the UK will not give us visa-free country to the UK, we will pull out from the Commonwealth. I don't know what exactly we are benefiting from the Commonwealth. From 1957 to now, what has Ghana benefited from the UK? They take our gold, cocoa, timber, everything, and we benefit nothing. That's not going to continue under my leadership. Thank you.